Hey guys, Mike from Urban Automotive, Oakville, Ontario, Canada, here today with my man Ian.
How you doing, everybody?
And today we have another special vehicle. We love special vehicles, don't we, Ian?
Oh, of course we do.
They're the best. We love them. This one in particular is a Chevy Equinox.
Yep.
And what was the drivability concern, Ian?
So this vehicle is the Chevy Equinox with the 4-cylinder engine. The 4-cylinder engine uses certain components to regulate its management and running ability. We had a check engine light on with a symptom of intermittent stalling when at idle.
That's not good.
And in drive, which of course is not good.
That's a concern.
So scanned the computer. We found one code in the engine computer to do with the variable valve timing system.
Is that a common thing, Ian?
It's actually a very common thing with these engines in particular. I know a lot of other vehicles with variable valve timing is they do have issues with the actual operating solenoid for that system.
And that is simply because, do we have the solenoid out?
We do have the
we
solenoid
do. My
out.
God, we do. Look at that. Exciting.
So this is the variable valve timing solenoid for this car. It has some screens here which filter and make sure oil, sludge, and debris doesn't get into the actual mechanical part of the solenoid.
And what happens while we're on that topic, Ian? What happens when people go beyond their oil change, Ian? What happens?
Well, going beyond your oil change, of course, affects this guy really badly because you probably can't see in the video, but the holes in this screen are extremely fine.
Those are microscopic holes.
They're very tiny. You can
tiny holes.
See them in plain view, but they're very easily plugged up.
Yes.
With sludge and debris that builds up over extended oil changes.
So naturally, our initial reaction on this was it needs a...
Well, normally these vehicles need one of these solenoids.
But we don't just throw parts at cars, do we, Ian?
Well, no, you've got to make sure you're doing the right repair, first of all. And one of the tests of this, of course, to physically take it out and make sure that there's no sludge or debris in the screens. The second test is to actually measure the electrical resistance of the solenoid itself. I measured this one. This one's in the specification. So now we've got to find the problem.
So the solenoid's not defective, which is unusual. This customer does do regular oil changes. We have done engine flushes on this particular vehicle. As a matter of fact, this vehicle went to the dealer for the recall of the pistons.
Yeah, for oil consumption.
For the oil consumption issue. So the car's had some work done on it.
Mm-hmm. It's been well maintained.
And what have we found, Ian?
Well, what we've found is that there's actually a wiring issue with this car, which is, of course, finding a needle in a haystack. Because the wiring harness is
problems.
Quite complex in these vehicles. The solenoid is over in that location over there.
All right, so we're over
one
here.
end of the engine.
Yes.
And then it goes into a bundle of wires that run around the engine and bundle with other wires for other sensors
wires, and then what
components.
is this? What is this mega block here?
This block here is the engine computer.
My God!
And it's got 3 connectors on it, which all have different identification.
And all of these pins, Ian?
Oh, well, that's just one connector. So you can imagine how complex this wiring is.
Each of those pins, Ian, is a wire.
Most of them have wires on them. It depends on the options the vehicle has, how many wires are in each connector.
Right.
But here's the bundle. It taken apart and opened up.
Okay.
We've got some back probing mechanisms here so that we can actually test without damaging the connectors and make sure that we've got or find the issue. Well, when I tested and back probed with the connector unplugged here and the solenoid unplugged there, well, I've got very low electrical resistance. There's only 0.7 of an ohm between the two connectors that really there should be no connection between at all.
Should be zero.
Should be zero, and it should read relatively close to specification of the solenoid when plugged into the solenoid.
So let's give everybody the show, Ian. What do we do?
So we did a wiggle test on the wiring going down.
Wiggle.
And we found that as we shake
bit.
the wiring, and it's a little less, there it goes.
Whoa.
It goes open circuit and then touches again and open circuit. So we've got a wiring issue inside of this solenoid or inside of this wiring harness where the wires have rubbed through and touched each other. I'm likely going to find more than just the 2 for this component that are damaged, and we'll fix whatever we need to fix once we open it up.
So somebody is going to be excited on one side of the counter.
Well, unfortunately, we can't we can't control how the wiring harnesses are made or manufactured.
No.
And vibration and the manipulation eventually breaks the wires. We see this a lot in door harnesses where the wiring goes from the body of the car into the door. And
All those
every time
power
you-
windows, power door locks, all those memory settings on the new cars, so fantastic.
And all that wiring going from the body to the door you open and close every day.
That's great. So we found the issue. We will contact the customer and then open up that harness and go basically one by one to source the wire that's causing the issue. And then hopefully be able to repair it without having to replace the harness. So there you have it, folks. If you're having electrical issues with your vehicles, by all means, please feel free to contact Urban Automotive. Hit subscribe below for more videos like this to help keep you educated, because that's what we like to do with our customers. We provide personalized service that always puts safety first.